All right, welcome everybody. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about CAM and CAD and CAM and how to use the large Tontai CNC, or at least how to program it. Later on, we'll get into how to actually use the machine, and so we'll get into that later time. But right now, we're just going to do some CAM training. Learn how to program toolpaths, how to it not only on the Tontai, but also how to export toolpaths and manipulate them to be able to use on the Bridgeport mill with the ProtoTrack controller. So that a lot of the robotics students don't know how to do that either. So that's a pretty valuable skill to learn. It will speed up the manufacturing process and of your parts, even if you're manufacturing them on the Bridgeport instead of on the Tontai. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see it. Let's see, let's bring that up. I don't know why that came up. All right, so all right. So hopefully you guys have Autodesk Inventor or have access to it. If you're using Fusion 360, it's going to be fairly similar. A few, like some of the buttons in the actual kind of UI will look a little bit differently. But the nice thing about Fusion 360 is you can do a cloud version or a desktop version, and it has CAM already built in, so you can do all the programming right out of the box. But if a lot of us, because we have free access at the school to Autodesk Inventor and Professional, that's what we use, and that's what I'm going to be training you guys on today. Before I get going here, the pop-up Zoom pop-up blocks my thing up here. All right. So just in case you guys are wondering about the CNC machine, I'm sure you've all seen it in the machine shop. It's this big blue machine, and so it's a really good machine. It's definitely an industrial grade machine. It's not designed to be used by students. So that's I guess a benefit and a drawback, because it's very much an industrial machine designed for speed. But it's not the easiest machine to program. It doesn't have a ton of support for it. So it's not like you can just like Google or like go to YouTube and type in how to use a Tontai, CNC, and you can learn on YouTube. Some machines, some manufacturers are kind of like that. Like Haas is a good example of a machine that you can go to YouTube and get a lot of videos for it. But this particular machine, there's not a whole lot of online resources. So a lot of what I learned how to use it, it was just by trial and error and figuring things out. But I got a pretty good grasp on it now. The other thing is that it, as a manufacturing machine, a machine meant for manufacturing, it's designed to be fast. So, if a company is making like 10,000 parts of the same part, 10,000 pieces of the same part, they're going to want to save every second, because those seconds add up to minutes and hours and days. So so this machine can go very, very fast. In fact, we slow it down quite a bit because it's very easy to make a mistake. And that's why I'm having you guys do this training first, because the CAM portion of the training is as important, if not more important, than the actual physical hands-on use of the machine. All your mistakes for the machine, pretty much 95% of the possible mistakes are going to be made during the CAM programming process. So I know robotics in particular, a lot of times you guys like to say have kind of these designated positions of like, oh, these guys are the machinists and these guys are the CAD people. In this particular case, with this particular machine, I don't like those separations. Personally, I would really like to see the person doing the CAM toolpaths is also the person operating the machine, and you're going to see why really quick. The problem with this, with the CAM portion of this, is like you can so easily make a mistake in so many different ways that, you know, even just a misplaced decimal point and you've crashed, you know, a $70,000 machine, potentially beyond repair. So it's definitely takes a serious person that's focused and taking their time to do things properly. Triple checking everything before you actually push that cycle start button and run a toolpath. So again, I'm gonna teach you guys all the steps to not only to be as safe as possible, but also additional steps that a manufacturer might not take, but we as non-professional machinists and CAM programmers will take to ensure that our programs are solid and the machine doesn't crash. So that being said, the other thing is, I mean, a lot of people have interest in this, and I'm really happy for all the interest. Just because you're taking this class doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be checked out on the CAD, the Tontai CNC. I'm going to leave that a little bit up to your particular project managers of whatever program you're in to tell me if they believe that you have the maturity to proceed further in the training. So this is a good start for everybody. But once we get hands-on, probably not everybody is going to get checked out on this machine, just to be aware, because I really want to make sure that the people using this machine are the people that are very careful and detail-oriented. And with that, the other thing I've noticed a lot with people and students doing CAD is, and this is particular, I'm not picking on robotics, but I noticed a lot with robotics, is that I feel like the CAD people like pride themselves in how quickly they can do everything with CAD. Like it's like they know all the keyboard shortcuts and they're always so quick and fast on everything, and it's like kind of like a point of pride for them. This is, when you're doing CAM programming, that's not the place for that at all. Like, you need to be slow and methodical and careful. And so to take your time, make sure everything's done like perfect, and checking all your work, you know, triple checking all your work to make sure it's right. So real quick, just because it's not too intuitive, I wanted to show you guys real quick, if you don't have Autodesk Inventor and wanted to install it on your personal computers, just a real quick thing about how to do it on Autodesk. And hopefully it's the same process for students as it is for teachers. But the way I do it is you create a Autodesk account using your Warrior Life email. And then it's kind of a weird process, at least for me, and they've changed it somewhat recently, at least since last year when I've reinstalled Inventor. But anyway, I go to products, I go to educational access, and it's like, again, not really intuitive. So thanks. So then for me, I go to get products down here. It's just way too many mouse clicks, but this is the way I have it. So if you don't have if you're just new and just got an account, you probably need to click on get started. And then they're going to have to verify that you are in fact a student. So there might be, you might have to click up here. I'm not sure. This is the way I do it. Anyway, I can click sign in. And let's see, do it through this. I already have my credentials, so I have to sign twice, which makes no sense. And then see, you're confirmed. And so I can get Autodesk software. And so I go individual here. Again, it might be slightly different for a student, but again, they've changed it recently. So, and then Autodesk Professional, right? Or Autodesk, yeah, Inventor Professional is what you want to download. And then for CAM, because I think even if you have Inventor Professional, you might not have the CAM yet. You're somewhat limited. So there's all these different CAMs. There's like HSM Works Ultimate. There's Inventor HSM Ultimate. The one that you would need to use, at least if you're using Inventor 2022, is Inventor CAM. And so you get that, install that after you installed Autodesk Inventor. And so all these programs are free for students. And so and then of course, if you decide you'd rather use Fusion 360, it's possible. Apparently, I can't imagine this being very good, but apparently Fusion 360 is available for Chromebooks now. Huh. I'm curious how that works. But anyway, so I'm happy with all the students that are on here. I actually can't see now how many. I was 41 participants. That's great. Had quite a bit of interest, and as you see, it's a pretty good spread among all the different programs, the different AMSI programs. So I'm pretty happy about that. You know, the machine shop is for AMSI programs. It's not for any particular program. So, however, because you guys are going through this class or getting trained, going further in the training, doesn't mean that you're free to use any machine in the machine shop. Okay, so there's still training that would need to be done if you want to use the bandsaw or the drill press or the lathe. Those machines would take further training. So right now I don't do those trainings. Actually, robotics students do it, and with JP. And so if that is something you are interested, I would reach out to the student leaders at robotics to see if you could get trained in the machine, join in on some of the trainings in the machine shop. And I would fully expect the robotics students to accommodate that and help out in that way. So without further ado here, let's go into Inventor. And so I don't know how I can minimize this thing here. I can't see like my top panel up here with like my tabs. so bear with me because I don't know how to minimize this thing with or make it go away. The zoom bar up at the top here. Oh, hide the video panel. Let's try that. Nope, that was not it. Hide floating media controls. There we go. All right, so now I can't see you guys or anything. So hopefully you can still hear me and I'm not just talking to myself. But anyway, so typically, when the part I gave you guys access to is going to be this part. And let's see if I press escape, it brings up. Cool. All right, let me stop sharing for a second. And just to remind you guys, I sent a picture of this, but what you guys are going to make to get trained on these machines is an ID card holder. And so you guys are going to personalize it. And like I said, the catch is that you're not going to make it for yourselves. You're going to make it for a teacher, and you'll be able to like engrave their name at the bottom and put, you could put, VCS Robotics or Warrior Boards or, Mate or ISS or whatever. And so at the top, and so that, or created, you can put down the side, created by, Sudesh Dash, and so that they always know that to give you an A when you take their class or something, So so that's what you guys are going to be making. You guys can give that to like a teacher or school administrator as a present.